think we can all agree that exercise is an important part to a long, happy, healthy life. The problem is that exercise is hardship, and it almost always feels like an uphill struggle. And that's the exercise session itself. There will be a degree of difficulty to it. And you go to work out, you've got to work hard, and there's some degree of discomfort. And because of that, sometimes we have a mental barrier, what feels like a hurdle, to get yourself into the gym. I don't even want to get dressed here and go. So that you nearly have to overcome multiple hurdles, get the clothes on, go and get in the car, get yourself in the door of the gym. I always say the hardest rep you'll do all evening is that single arm row to put the gym door open. Once you're in, it's never all that hard. I think it's the mental barrier to get there is the toughest bit. So we can identify different factors and situations that make those hurdles, those initial hurdles of mentally deciding, yes, that's me, I'm going to go to the gym here. If we can identify the factors and situations that make those mental hurdles seem higher and harder, we can give ourselves our best fighting chance of making exercise a regular part of our life. Okay? For me, a big thing is the loss of momentum. So number one, loss of momentum. I have been training a lot the last couple of years. I obviously work in the gym. I spend my day in the gym, so I don't have the mental barrier of getting in my clothes and going to the gym. I'm already in the door. It's actually getting the workout started, so that's only my one mental barrier, and I still feel it. So it's okay if you're experiencing that as well. It's normal. A lot of people get it. What I've noticed is, even if I've trained amazingly for a year, if I sort of miss 1 week, or I even had a situation there a month or two ago where I think it was when my plantar fascia was bad, I kind of lost my momentum. I lost my high-end groove for a week. I found it hard to get going again. So the way I've sort of decided to explain it to people is, if you've taken a week off, that mental hurdle of actually dragging yourself into the gym, it feels like a 10 out of 10 difficulty. But it'll not continue to feel like a 10 out of 10 difficulty. If you say to yourself, right, I'm going to make myself go tomorrow morning, and that you get that first session back that we'll call, say, a 10 out of 10. Then if you go again 2 days later, because you've already sort of broken the duck, you've already went the other day, maybe your second session feels like an 8 out of 10. And then if you go 2 days later, it starts feeling like a 6 out of 10. And everyone probably have a certain, it never feels easier than a 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10 to actually make yourself go to the gym. But once you force yourself to get those 2, 3, 4 sessions, and all of a sudden you start gaining momentum, the score out of 10, the difficulty out of 10 to drag yourself into the gym definitely chips down. Even if it never gets to 0, there'll always be some degree of resistance, because it's not like I'm asking you to go and sit in a sofa or sit in a sauna or go and get a massage. You go to the gym, you know there's hardship coming. So that's why we get a little bit of that mental barrier. So if you accept A, it's always going to be there to some degree, and B, building momentum massively helps reduce it, that's going to be a great first step towards improving your frequency commitment, okay? Another factor is tiredness. See the amount of people, they just get caught up on social media, get caught up on, watching like a Netflix series or something like that, and they end up sitting up later than they should. Once you're tired, your drive, your motivation, it definitely takes a nosedive. So although it's a wee bit disheartening this time of year because it's getting a wee bit colder and the days are shortening, the way I look at it is I definitely sleep more in the winter. I find it easier to get myself into bed in the winter. So let's actually use that, give it a leverage with that extra sleep. And I definitely always just sleep longer, and as a result just feel more refreshed. So let's start going to bed a wee bit earlier, making sure the weekends, you're not missing out on loads of sleep, because you really want to have your energy levels on point, because whenever you're well rested, motivation, drive, all that is through the roof. Then another obvious one is being hungover. If you're going to have a massive weekend, of course you're not going to feel amazing and like you want to get up and after it on a Monday morning. So be mindful. It's like, it might just be sharing a bottle of wine on a Sunday, but if that really takes a drive out of your Monday session, maybe you want to rethink that, or maybe you want to build your gym sessions around when you're most likely not going to be hungover, because I know some people enjoy a bottle of wine with their Sunday dinner. So maybe then don't aim to get up on a Monday morning, and then you always miss your Monday morning, because then you're then sort of telling yourself it's okay to miss a session, or I am someone who frequently misses a session, and we want to try and avoid that. So maybe tee your week up a wee bit better, kind of leverage when you'll be that wee bit fresher. And then the last one I think is quite often a big barrier is the lack of organization. Having your clothes organized, your food sorted, even your work clothes for after the gym, your gym sessions booked, getting all those kind of things in place definitely makes it a much smoother transition, because I'm sure you've experienced this yourself. Plan is to be in a 6:30 a.m. gym session. You're up, you're running about, you can't find something. That's the first wee sort of opportunity you've given yourself. Oh, I might skip that. And then you go and you're like, oh, my work shirt's not even hard. Oh, I'm going to be late. I'll just skip it. So you see, being organized, it literally can make the world of difference. And it's something I've started to do a bit more of on a Sunday, just to give me a better chance of starting the week strong. Because if we start the week strong, you know the rest of the week is going to go better. So, bit of food for thought, something to think about. Try and set up your situation, set up your environment in a way that's going to be conducive to you exercising frequently. So try not to lose momentum. Remember, it's going to be a 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and it's going to gradually get that wee bit easier to get yourself in the door. Next one being tiredness. Let's use this time of year to get that wee bit of extra sleep and be well rested. Third one is being hungover. Be mindful of how much you drink, or is it really taking the sting out of your exercise routine? So think about that. If it needs addressed, then address it. And the last one then is be organized. Okay? Take those tips and run with them. Cheers.